Well, a super Sunday then for India. They're almost set to take a 1-0 advantage in this series against New Zealand. First test at Kanpur. Ajit Agarkar with me has been reviewing the action at the end of the day's play. And 93 for 4, 341 behind. It was all India today, Ajit. But how much of that was because India were great, and how much in that early to middle phase was because New Zealand just didn't put up a fight?
I thought India were great yesterday, more than today. I think it was, they made sure that they didn't let that advantage go. But Vijay and Pujara yesterday evening were very, very good and a little bit disappointing from the New Zealand spinners, because one of the things they needed to do, and this is a pitch which has enough help in it for the spinners. When you let a team score 377, today it felt like they almost were either waiting for a declaration or were hoping that wickets fall. I don't think they created enough pressure on Indians. The only time Santner bowled, and he bowled consistently, Indians found it hard to get the runs, but otherwise pretty disappointing from the three spinners.
Yeah, we're talking about the spinners for New Zealand, as well as we'll talk about Rohit Sharma in just a second, but 75 overs of spin from New Zealand's three-man spin attack, who we praised at the end of day one. On a day 4 pitch, you think there'd be more intent by the spinners? What went wrong? Were they tired? Was it just mismanaged by the captain? We spoke of that last evening.
Yeah, I thought that was more last evening, and that's where it probably hurt them a little bit. I think Sodhi should have bowled a lot better. The problem they had, one, they're bowling to really good players of spin in these conditions. And every time they bowled a bad ball yesterday, the Indians made them pay, which put more pressure on them. I just felt, one of the things they can learn from Ashwin particularly is how to vary pace on Indian subcontinental pitches, because you don't need to all the time fire the ball in or be slow. I think the subtle variation, and every pitch will differ. The series that as it goes along, this was on the slower side, probably bowled a bit differently, but I think the consistency was the key here. They needed to bowl 6 balls on a good spot, and there was enough help and would have created more pressure for the batsmen, but unfortunately for Williamson and New Zealand, they couldn't do it for a period of time.
Well, at 377 for 5, you look back at a scorecard, you might think India's number 6 getting 68 not out is no big deal, but Rohit Sharma will probably sleep well tonight, and you'd know how big an innings this is. Why was it important, even though it was easy for everyone to get runs?
I don't think it was necessarily easy, which is the good part about it. I mean, okay, the pressure was all on New Zealand at that point, and they were trying to prolong India's innings. But the conditions were not as easy as they looked. I mean, it is still a 4-day pitch, and you still had to play well. There was an odd ball. New Zealand didn't bowl that well, but they were still bowling enough good balls around those bad balls, which made that innings even better from Rohit. And especially after the way he got out, he played really well in the first innings as well. But after that dismissal, that's what keeps coming back to Rohit. Every time that he lets it go, and that's the improvement he showed in the second innings. To stay unbeaten must have made him happier than the 50 that he got.
1 hour, 1 session, or maybe more. How much longer cricket? How much more cricket do we expect on day 5?
Yeah, you don't take things for granted. Yeah. You could easily have some rain around, and then New Zealand would look at a reduced period of time to survive. I find it. It's going to be difficult for New Zealand. This is a pair that can, if they can bat through till lunch, Indians will start then worrying about things. So at this point, I can't think anything but an Indian victory.
Well, then 1 session, or maybe 2. But thank you, Ajit Agarkar, for your thoughts. There you have it then. It looks firmly set for India to take a 1-0 lead. On day when New Zealand were a little disappointing on day 4. All the action, all the analysis by Ajit Agarkar on ESPNcricinfo Match Day.